Hello, 8th graders. I'm going to stand back here because there's light. So I've realized, and also, I don't know why, but I think this thing is slowly sinking. There we go. Better. Anyway, so hello, 8th graders. I am going to talk to you about passive voice with modals. And also, if you couldn't hear, there's going to be a background noise brought to you by my daughter Zoe. I am actually not filming this at the school. If you couldn't tell by the lights, by those fantastic windows, I'm filming this in the office. That's right, now you're all getting dizzy. I'm at the office. So yeah, I figured what a better way to spend Sunday than coming up to the office with my family and filming. And then there's the reason for distraction right there. I know you guys really wanted to see A, Eddie Koneni, B, Zoe. Zoe, look. See? She can't see herself, I know. There you are. Yeah, you're in a video now. Okay, so anyways, back to me, because I'm important. Right, I know. And that was not cool. Erica's over here laughing at me for saying that I'm important. So, what is going on? First of all, we are going to be talking about passive voice with modals, obviously. And yeah, I've got a few things I want to say before we start the video. Or before we start the lesson, I should say. I've already started the video. First of all, you're not watching these videos. And I realize that saying this in a video, how you are not watching videos, is kind of stupid. Complaining to the good kids that they're being bad. It just doesn't make sense, right? And so that's why I'm pointing this out, because I'm sitting here saying, you guys aren't watching the videos, but you're watching a video to find out that you're not watching the video. No, that doesn't make sense. So anyways, if you're watching this video, good job. Yay for you. You rock. The rest of your classmates, they suck. Yeah, because I think there's a total, 40, 20, 35 8th graders between the two classes. And I think you'll have 7 views. So I'm trying to think who out of the 8th grade class is actually watching these videos? Dudash Petty, you're watching the video. Actually, I don't even think he's watching the video. I don't think he does. I remember last year during the quarantine, he didn't do anything. He totally just played online for 20 hours straight every single day. The other 4 hours were pooping. I love you, Petty. You're awesome. You didn't poop 4 hours. You did play video games for 20 hours straight, and we all know it. All right. So no, really, I don't know who's watching these videos. Somebody is watching them, because maybe it's my family. I don't know. But yay, at least there's this. And maybe to solve this, I'm going to give you a pop quiz. No. So first off, I did get almost everybody's grades. I put them in Craytop. If you got a 1, funny, I wrote all the 1s this weekend, and then all of a sudden I got 2 more essays. It's amazing, the power of 1s. So yeah, the essays are done. I'm not going to take any more. If you, I think I got Jolt's essay, and I'm going to grade that this weekend sometime, maybe. The rest of you guys, y'all got a 1. If you didn't turn in your essay, it's a 1. It's a big one, by the way. And it's going to stay there because, come on, it was due 3 weeks ago. Secondly, the other thing I noticed, sorry, I'm turning on my notes. We got 3 more weeks of quarantine, which was great. I love the fact that you guys told me that there's going to be 3 more weeks of quarantine in the online lesson before I found out officially from the school. You guys are right. I'm just going to listen to you from now on. So yes, until May 10th, we're going to be doing online lessons. What's good about this? Nothing. What's bad about this? Well, it sucks. A. B, you guys can't see all of your friends. C, classes with me is way more fun in person than on video, I think. Clearly because nobody's watching the videos. Right? So the other reason this sucks, though, is because I calculated, and there's like, I calculated there are 6 weeks left of real teaching. Like, if you count up the weeks, 6 weeks from now is June. And we all know June's a joke when it comes to actually teaching, especially for 8th graders. So that means there are 6 weeks of lessons. That's 6 weeks. I'm doing it the American way. 6 weeks of lessons to teach stuff before the B2 language exam. Like, well, whatever. Not you guys aren't taking the exam, but it's all up in the air. So my point is, I have a lot of stuff to teach you, and I'm going to teach you fast. That's why we're going to do passive voice with modals, because this is not easy. And I'm teaching classes. And dancing in front of the computer. Also, that's why I keep leaning back, because I have this bright light right above me. I even tried to move it a little bit, but it's like, here it looks normal, but here I look evil, and I'm in a shadow. So it's like, the lighting here is kind of dark, shadow, and I'm normal again. So yeah, so this place has, as you can see in the reflection, lots of really cool lights, but they are just, they're can lights. That means the light goes straight down. It doesn't spread. Diffuse lighting versus direct lighting. When you start 3D modeling, you're going to learn this stuff. All right, anyways, back to what I'm saying. So, for you guys, you don't have anything to do. We finished the formal essays. I've got 6 weeks left to teach you stuff before the end, like before you graduate. Done, deuces, balagash, no waltz, get $200, pass go, you know, all that good stuff. So, that's it. It sucks. And in there somewhere, we're supposed to have like a party. Right? Who knows? It'd be so much easier if we could just have classes normal, because then I could actually teach more stuff faster. Whatever. I'm going to stop complaining. It's been about 7 minutes, and now it's time to actually teach. So, remember passive voice? Yeah, we're going to do that. As a refresher, since we learned this last year, because I know most of you don't use passive voice, maybe some of you do, but anyways, just a refresher. So here's an active voice sentence. It's called Mr. B teaches class. It's not called that. That's actually the example. Mr. B teaches class. I just wanted an example, and what better example than me? Because I rock. So, and by the way, all the background noise is just my daughter, of course. So, how do we turn this into an active voice sentence? Well, if we're going to turn it into active voice, so this is passive voice. I'm sorry, this is active. So now we need to turn this into, there we go. There's active voice. Mr. B teaches class. To turn it into passive voice, we're going to say classes are taught by Mr. B. There you go. If you already knew this, give yourself 2 claps. I wonder, like, if your family's like, why is my son clapping right now? What's happening here? So, yeah, that's how you do this in passive voice. Classes are taught by Mr. B. So what happened here? Well, first things first, when we do passive voice, why do we do passive voice? It's because we emphasize the action, remember? Emphasizing the action, that's the whole point. It doesn't matter that I taught the classes or that, I don't know, Eddie Koneni or Zoe taught the classes, that doesn't matter. What matters here is that the classes are taught. So in Hungarian, we would call this the va-ve, right? A bolt nyitva. The store is open. So it doesn't matter, like, the store is open by the manager, by the, who cares who opened it? The point is, the store is freaking open. That's what matters. That's what we're doing. Whenever we talk in passive voice, all that matters is that it happened. We're caring about the action. Or the state of it, actually. It's not even the action. It's like the state of what's happening. But whatever. So, classes are taught by Mr. B. Now, how did I do that? First, you take the subject, which in this sentence was me. The subject is the most important part of the sentence. It's what you're talking about. So, in the first sentence, I'm the subject. Because what's more important other than me? Nobody. Nothing is more important than me. I am a narcissist. All right. So, Mr. B is the subject. The object here are the classes. That is the thing, the whatever is happening. So when we do passive voice, we switch the two. All of a sudden, the classes become the subject, boo, because they're now the most important thing. And then I become an object. I have become an object. See, I stopped moving. So, that is it. And then, oh, well, there's more. You also have to, what did I do here? Teaches to taught. No, it didn't go to past tense. It went to the past participle. What? Whose dangling participle is that? Oh, yeah. That sounds so disgusting. Anyways, no. Past participle, that's the third row, remember? Like you have eat, ate.
Eaten.
Thank you, eaten. Wow, it sounded like Emma, but it wasn't. Yes, eat, ate, eaten. Or run, ran, run. Wait, it just went back to present tense? Yeah, it does sometimes. You guys remember this stuff, right? Write, wrote, written. Thank you. Nobody this time? So yeah, write, wrote, written. So this is the past participle. So you have to turn this into the past participle, the third row. Third row. I'm not making the Mockingjay symbol. Okay, whatever. Classes are taught, and then you have your agent, me. Actually, your agent is by. I'm just the lonely object. So yeah, that's passive voice. So if I give you another sentence, like, that was disturbing. Baby Yoda laughed? I guess, I don't know. Baby Yoda laughs. Can I turn that into passive voice? Baby Yoda laughs. I think I just gave you an example that cannot be turned into passive voice. Yeah, you can't do that. That was a terrible example. I don't know what to do with Baby Yoda. I'm trying to think here.
Baby Yoda is teaching.
Baby, but that's, okay. Yeah, exactly. It's an example. See, we've got two English teachers here, and we can't figure out a freaking example to tell you. All right, 8th graders, let's see here. It's building. Baby Yoda is master of the Force. If you couldn't hear Erica Nene, she's like looking at me being like, now how are you going to turn that into passive voice? All right, let's try this out here. Challenge accepted. So Baby Yoda, I got to write this down because I don't remember the sentence. Baby Yoda is the master, or masters the Force. Ah, that's it. Masters the Force. Yes. So then turning this into passive voice, you would simply go up here and say the Force is mastered by Baby Yoda. There you go. Bam. So, by the way, y'all know what car Baby Yoda drives? A toy Yoda. Did you hear that one? She didn't hear it. It's terrible. Okay. I hope all of you just rolled your eyes and said that was the worst dad joke of all. Anyways, so, see, this is why I like teaching when you're here, because then I get to see the eye rolls, and I look at Dave, and he just goes, and I love that. I just love the disdain face from him. He is the best at killing my dad jokes. Okay, so anyways, this is passive voice. Now, what's important about passive voice? Well, passive voice has no tense. None. It's weird, but passive voice is not like all the other tenses where, like, if I'm speaking, in present tense or past tense or whatever, like, passive voice is not a tense. It can be in every tense. So that's a big deal. And yeah, right now, what I just did was I made this sentence in present simple. And yeah, because of are. Since the helping verb here is what determines the tense. So if I wanted to turn something into a different tense in passive voice, I have to change this, the be verb. So, how do we do this in past tense? Oh, is that what you asked? Okay, I'll answer. So, past simple. And this red is terrible because it's not my red. You would say classes were taught by Mr. B. So here I'm going to stop doing the by Mr. B because you don't always need the agent. You don't need to have that. Remember, the reason we use passive voice is to emphasize the action. We don't care who, or we don't know who did it. So whenever we use passive voice, maybe we don't have a clue. Just the fact that classes were taught. Who taught it? I have no idea, but somebody taught it because you know this already. Well, yeah, it was probably me, but whatever. So yeah, classes were taught. That's past simple. What if I wanted to do this in future tense? Actually, I'm going to save that for later. Let's do, why not? We'll do future. So if I want to do this in future tense, well then, classes will taught by Mr. B. I said that I was not going to write Mr. B again, but I just did, so I'm not listening to myself. This is wrong, right? Classes will taught by Mr. B. Doesn't that sound wrong to you? Like, don't you all think that's weird? Yeah, it is. Because I need a B in there. Yeah. We need a B up in this biatch. Okay, anyways. Will be. It's late. I'm tired. Classes will be taught by Mr. B. See, that's future. Now, let's do some more craziness. Let's do present perfect. Shall we? So if we want to turn this into present perfect, how do we do that? Let's see if Zoe knows. She says, "Xiao xiao." I think she secretly is learning Chinese. Zoe, do you know how to turn this into present perfect? No. She just walked by. So, classes have been taught. And again, I'm going to get rid of the Mr. B. So, there you go. And I know you can't see all of the bean, but have been. See, now you can see it. Have been taught by Mr. B. So, there you go. That right there is present perfect. And yes, there is present perfect past voice. If you want to say that 3 times fast, have fun. Present perfect past voice. I can't even do it. So, yeah. Present perfect past classes have been taught. And this is not where it ends, because, you know, if you remember from last year, it goes so much more fun. We've got present simple. We've got, oh, I already did present simple. Present continuous is what I meant to say. We've got past continuous. We've got, what else is there? Oh, there's so many of these. Hold on. I gotta get up in my notes. Oh, here we go. Oh, past perfect. That's a good one. Y'all haven't learned that one yet. Nor will you at this school, because we have 6 weeks left. Past perfect. And then you've got future perfect. Oh, yeah. Even Zoe says, oh, yeah. So let's do this real fast for a challenge here. So let's see here. Present continuous, we gotta say classes are being taught by Mr. B. Past classes, instead of are we use, that's right class, were being taught. And then in past perfect we use classes, that's right, not have, but had been taught. And then lastly, the one that's the weirdest of all, which is future perfect classes will have been taught. Oh yes, that was hard. So, so here you see are being, and here you have to make the being, the be becomes the indicator. It's really weird. So are being versus were being here, and then here you got had been. So past perfect is just present perfect with a had. That's all you do, guys. There's nothing hard about it. It's just instead of has have, you use had. And then you've got future perfect will have been. I know what you're all asking me. I get this question every time I teach it. You're like, when? When do we ever use future perfect? When should I say classes will have been taught? And there is a situation. I will use this exact sentence and give you an example. The suspense is killing you too. That's because I'm thinking. If I am talking about next year, and I'm saying that in the spring, all the 7th graders will know passive voice. Because, so it's right now, like I'm talking right now, but I'm talking about the future. So I'm telling my colleague who is going to take over for me next year, because I won't be here next year. Cat's out of the bag now, right? I guess nobody really knew that, but yeah, this is my last year here at Hard which is why I just don't care anymore. Because what are they going to do? Fire me? That's right, joke's on them. Anyways, so if you didn't know that, this is why you watch videos. The 7 of you out of the 48th graders just now know this, just learned this. So anyways, I'm talking about this in the future. So like I'm talking about next year, the teacher that replaces me who's going to be like 37% as cool as I am. That person, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, the 7th graders should know passive voice because that class will have been taught online. Class will have been taught. See, I use passive voice in future perfect because I can. And this is how you use it. So when do you use this? I'll be honest, if you didn't know this, you probably would never need to. Because it's so rare to use future perfect in English. Yeah. Have you ever used future perfect in English? Ever in your life?
I don't think so. Maybe when teaching.
Yeah. See, Eddie Konani says the only time she used future perfect is when teaching future perfect. That proves you will never need future perfect. So congratulations, I just wasted 2 minutes of your time teaching you something you'll never need to know. Bam, bam, bam. Wow, that is awesome. Okay, now let's actually get to the real stuff. This was review. Yeah, that's right, a 23-minute review. So, actually I didn't want to erase that. Oh well, whatever. We'll erase this stuff because this is the stuff that really matters here. So these I'm going to keep up there. Those bottom ones didn't matter. So now we're going to talk about the modals thing. And modals make things weird, right? And I say this because this isn't easy. So yeah. Hold on, still moving on. This is so, okay, here we go. Passive voice with modals. Okay. So we know what the modals are. Y'all remember, I've done this like, I think you guys have been learning modals since 7th grade. So you guys know it's, will, won't, should, shall, could, can, might, may, mayn't, must, ought. I think that's it. And all the negatives. Yeah, so that's it. I love that while I'm teaching, Erica, Nene, and Zoe are just circling the room on a scooter. They're riding an electric scooter around me while I'm teaching. It's fantastic. You think I'm making this up? There they go. Zoe's down there. This is what happens while I'm teaching your videos. It's not distracting at all. No, not distracting. I have laser focus. All right, moving on. So, what I was saying, passive voice with modals. So, we know the modals, so how do we use modals? Well, one's already here. Oh, this is why I didn't want to use future tense earlier, because the future tense one is kind of weird, and it shows you how to use passive voice with modals. And the key here is you can't just say will and then to do the past participle, because you need a helping verb. And a modal is not a helping verb. So grammar-wise, this is why you need to add be into the sentence. But that's it, guys. That's the trick. So if I'm using a modal, I'll do this in blue. So anytime you use a modal, just add a be verb. Be verb. There it is. That's all you got to do. And the modals, I'm not going to list them for you. You know them. Can, could, will, would, shall, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if I wanted to use one of these as an example, we'll continue with our classes have been taught. Let's start with classes should be taught by Mr. B. So notice that should be. There you go. Simple. Should be. Now, there is no past tense, present tense, all this kind of stuff. It's just should be, because you don't need to have all that stuff. We'll actually get to the past tense later, so yes, there is. But, and actually, yeah, there is. There's a lot of tenses here. I just I've been nice to you so far. So classes should be taught. There you go. That's it. So what does that mean in Hungarian? Classes, az órák kéne tanítani. I don't. Yeah, how do you translate that in Hungarian?
That's just class.
Ah, scheisse. Class, yeah. Sorry guys, I didn't even catch that. Why didn't somebody tell me? Come on guys, you're watching this video. Somebody should have raised their hand and told me that. Jesus.
Az órákat Mr. B-nek kéne megtartania.
Did y'all hear that? Because that was fast. Az órák Mr. B-nek.
Órákat
Az órákat
Mr. B-nek
Mr. B-nek kéne
megtartania.
megtartania.
Igen.
Whew. Geez, is this how hard all of this stuff is for you guys? Because if I had to say that sentence in Hungarian on my own, I would not have done that. Az órákat Mr. B-nek kéne tartaniak.
Kellene, az is jó.
Kellene tartania.
Megtartania.
Megtartani. Good God, this is so freaking hard. Hungarian passive voice is really difficult. And there's no vowel there, which is what I told you passive voice is supposed to be. Anyway. Classes should be taught by Mr. B. Now, wait a minute, because it's not past perfect. It's not passive voice with... Okay, so let's make your life harder. Now, this can be converted. So, for example, this is... Well, hold on. Before I start making your life hell, let's use a different one. Classes, we know will, obviously, will be taught. So here we just switch out the modal, right? Classes must be taught by Mr. B, right? So then all I'm saying is muszáj tartani, in passive voice. Muszáj tartania kellett volna, meg muszáj órákat tartani. Valahogyan így. Ugye? Igen. I know, all of you guys are just shaking your head at my Hungarian right now, just being like, stop, Mr. B, stop. Your Hungarian sucks now. So yeah, classes must be taught. And then you could do this, instead of must, you could put could, because, you know, they could be taught by Mr. B, or they could be taught by Márti néni. Could they? Yeah, they could. Could they be taught by Lőrinc bácsi? They could be. He's not here anymore. Classes could be taught by Zoe. Wouldn't be very good, but they could. Classes might be taught by Mr. B, right? Classes might be taught by Mr. B. I don't know. They might. They might be taught by Zoe. Who knows? It's the pandemic. Maybe Zoe teaches classes. I don't know. Classes may be taught by Mr. B. That's a little weird. Classes may be, no, you could do that. It's kind of like might. They may be taught by Mr. B. They may not be. We don't know. Classes ought be taught. No, ought. Ought in this case is not good because it's ought to. It's like needs to. You can't do that. Needs to be taught. I mean, yeah, you could say it that way. Ought to be taught, but it doesn't work like all the rest of the modals. So ought in this case is kind of that weird modal that's an exception that doesn't work. Wow, how many laps is she doing? Are you really? Wow. Zoe is just going around in circles. It's fantastic. She's finally going to get tired right in time for bedtime. Anyway, so might. Yeah, these are all the modals, right? Shall. Classes shall be taught by Mr. B. Yeah, that's fine. They shall. They shall be taught by Mr. B. And so I shall. It just sounds so fancy. I can never explain shall. Like, everybody's like, when do you shall? You just have to know. It's one of those things where if you've learned when do you shall, you're done. You're like, done. English is done. Now I got to pick up my pen. Like, drop the mic, you know English. If you know when do you shall. If you don't know when do you shall, that's okay. You're 90% of all the English speakers that didn't learn English as a native tongue. So, moving on. Should be, must be, and yeah, you see the trick here. All you got to do is add the be, right? All right, let's start changing the tense. Okay, because here we're in present. Once again, the crappy red. I want my good red. This is present tense, okay? Can you make this present perfect? Yes, you can. We can totally make this present perfect. I don't know why I'm moving that way. So I'm going to move back over here. Classes should have been taught by Mr. B. See, and now I turned it into present perfect. So yes, you can do modals with present perfect. You just have to do a should have been. It's just like the other one, except you just add that be, but now you have to turn the been also. Yeah, just like up here. See, should have been, have been. It's the same thing. Can you do present continuous? Can we do present continuous with a modal? Classes should be being taught. Should be being taught by Mr. B. No, that doesn't work. If you say something like that, you're retarded. And you know, the irony is, I think I saw something officially saying that that is correct. Like, this is possible. I'm a native English speaker, and I'm telling you, I have never heard anyone say that. It just sounds wrong. And if the grammar teachers say that you can say this, slap them and say they're wrong. Say no, because classes should be being taught. Is that no? That just no. Oh, they're now up on the balcony. So yeah, have you present perfect with modals in passive voice, or not present perfect? Simple, continuous. Yeah, you can't do that. Classes should be being taught. No, it just doesn't make sense. See, even Eric Oneni says that's stupid. So yeah, next up, same thing with past continuous. You can't do that. Classes, well, anyways, let's talk about past tense, because past tense gets really funky. It gets weird. So you can do past tense. But remember, past tense means you have to past tense the modal. So for example, if I had shall, then it becomes should. So like, for example, if I said the house will be built, right? Or the bridge will be built or whatever. I mean, that's future tense. I'm looking at my notes, that's why I'm doing this. If I looked at like shall, well then you can move those back into should. So like the bridge shall be built. Okay, that makes sense. the bridge should be built. Wait a minute, that changes the meaning, but that's because I moved it backwards. So like the bridge can be built. When I go into past tense, something crazy happens. So here, let me show you. If I'm doing past tense, I'm going to turn, only 3 modals can be put into past tense. Can turns into could. Shall turns into should. And will, oh, hey, yeah. Can you do that? Yeah, will, which is future tense, but whatever. Will turns into would. So we know this, okay? So in past tense modals, we have to do those 3 back. It's not like there's a past tense version of might. Mote, I mean, what would it be, right? Might, mote, mote. It's past tense of might. No, doesn't work like that, nope. So you could say like the house can be built when the quarantine ends, but in this case, if I want to use that in past tense, it would be the house could be built. The classes could be taught. But then how do we know it's not just using could? Well, you don't. And that's the weird thing about when you switch these modals into past tense is not only does it become weird because you're using a different modal, but it turns it into conditionals. So yeah, I'm sorry, I think I just confused the heck out of everybody watching this video, but when you try to turn past tense or modals into past tense, it starts turning them into conditionals. It's like classes should be taught. Well, if they shall be taught, well then should they be taught? And then if I said if classes can be taught, could be taught. So classes could be taught. So now it's a question. Classes could be taught by Mr. B. See, now I don't know. Am I talking in a question or am I making a sentence? Classes could be taught by Mr. B. Well, who knows? It's so confusing. Classes will be taught. Classes would be taught. Well, wait a minute. Would be or won't it? Well, it will. But when? Well, it would. Would. And that's a toilet flushing. Just in the video if you didn't hear it. Excellent. So, all right. I gotta grab my thing because the notes get so confusing at this point. I don't even know if you're learning anything. So, yeah. And especially if we use the present perfect version, like the classes could have been taught. Wait a minute. This is now conditionals. We're now doing the third conditional or second conditional. It's like, wait, what? The classes could have been taught had I not died of COVID, right? I mean, seriously, that's a third conditional. So yes. Giving you some other examples of using a modal in a sentence, you could say something like, Mr. B can be killed by allergies. I just got an allergy shot, which is why I don't have allergies right now. But if it weren't for that shot, I would be dying right now. I'd be like, all the time, and coughing and sneezing, and just, it would be miserable. Everybody would think I'd had a COVID, and I'm like, no, it's the allergies. Okay, anyways, Mr. B can be killed by allergies. The homework must be done. Dry red wine should have been given to Mr. B had it not been for the quarantine. Damn quarantine. That's what I'm thinking right now. So yeah, so this is how we do passive voice with modals. Did you actually learn anything? I hope. I hope. I really do hope. This video might not have been helpful. But the point is, here you go. So you just add the be. You can do it in multiple tenses. It's a little hard. And you got to really start paying attention to what you're saying. So if you want to say something like, those examples I just gave you. Dry red wine should have been given to Mr. B were it not for the quarantine. See, and now I'm turning it into a conditional, which is just, yeah. That's just how it works. So guys, there you go. There is homework now that we are officially allowed to give you homework. So let me write down what your homework is. homework. Your homework is it's going to be a link. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to show it to you on the screen. Maybe you can see this. So see here, there's a link. This is your homework. Yep, it's going. It's your favorite lady. I know you guys love this girl. So yeah, there is a whole worksheet on passive voice with modals. I'm going to send this link to all of you guys. It's going to be in Kreta. I'm going to put it into YouTube video write-up thing, and I'll also put it on Teams. So there will be a link to this in 3 places. But as always, whenever you do this kind of stuff, you're supposed to do a screenshot and send it to me. If you want to send it to me in the official Harer email, that's fine. If you want to send it to me in a direct message in Teams, that's fine. If you want to send it to me in my Gmail email, you can send that. Or you can send me this screenshot in Slack. You have lots of options. Just send me your homework. And if you do it, you get a 5. If you don't, it's a 1, which means I don't care what percentage you get right. If you get 50% right, you're getting a 5. If you get 100% right, you're getting a 5 with a big question mark, like you are cheating. If you get 0% right, I'm going to be like, did you even try? So seriously, whatever the percentage, it doesn't matter. Just be honest and try to see if you get it right. This is good practice. You need the practice. So your homework is do the video. Do the link. Where is it? Homework. Screenshot the worksheet. It's just 1 page, 1 worksheet. There's 20 questions. And send it to me. It is due Friday by midnight. So Friday the 23rd by midnight. So Saturday, I'm going to check, and if you didn't do it, you get a 1. There you go. Can't do it late, you're getting a 1 if it's not due by Friday. And everything's timestamped, so I'll know when you turned it in. There you go. That's your homework. I'll send you the link. It's the perfect English grammar. You remember, perfect English grammar. That's it. I'll write it here for you if you want to see it faster. Perfect. Which is stupid because when I upload the video, I'm going to put the link there anyway. So perfect English grammar. You know, the mouse lady. She looks like a mouse. And that's it, guys. That's the lesson. It's been a fun 42 minutes. I'm happy that I got to yell at all of you for not watching the videos. So if you watch this video all the way to the end, good for you. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. I can also see when you don't watch to the end. There's something in YouTube called analytics. And when I look at a video and I see, 15 people watched this video in 8th grade. And then I look at the analytics and I'm like, out of the 15, half of them watched all of it. So congratulations to the 7.5 of you. I don't know who the half person is that watched all of the video, but 7.5 of you watched all the way to the end. Good job, guys. You rock. This is why online teaching sucks. Because you're not really learning. I can't wait to see you in person. Goodbye.